Hi, it's Rob Ragazine here of NumbersByRob.com. Today I want to talk about this week, which is week 22 of 2014. And that's represented by the Fool, which is both 0 and 22 in the tarot deck. And the Fool really represents the start or the willingness to start a new journey in your life and take a risk of some kind. And sometimes we're not willing to take that risk. This is related to the hero's journey, which is discussed in depth by Joseph Campbell, and we'll talk about in upcoming videos. But for now, know that this is a process that we all go through in our everyday lives. And with the Fool, we're looking for new experiences, adventure, personal development of some kind. Only we're not listening to our hearts, or we may be, but we don't understand what they're saying to us. So we ideally have to find a way to listen to our hearts and take that leap of faith that we're called to do. And that's what the Fool is called to action and to do. Only the Fool doesn't necessarily worry about tripping over that huge chasm and falling down. He just worries about taking that next step. And like Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones, where we're on the mountaintop and we know that bridge is there, the Fool doesn't know. He willingly takes the risk to step over the cliff and onto that bridge. And that can feel shaky. So you need to have a support system in place of various types. So personal friends, groups that you belong to, and even a therapist if that's called for. And if you know if you're called to have that in your life. And if you don't, maybe it's time to have one. And you might also want to ask for help from others if it's possible. But here's the thing. The answers are within you that you're looking for. So when we encounter this energy of feeling called to adventure, feeling that risk is okay, at least in some tiny small part of ourselves, and it's time to look back at our journal, look back to our conversations with our friends. What have they been encouraging you to do? What have you been working towards in your support groups, in your therapy? What is it? And that's where the journal definitely comes into play. And it's helpful to have a journal to record yourself on a daily basis. You can record your dreams. That's the nightly dreams that you have, of course, and your goals. What are your aspirations? What are you aspiring to? And when the Fool comes up, that's the time to take that leap of faith, as we already mentioned. It's time to pay attention to your synchronicities and your dreams and listen to your heart. Now, you may need to give yourself a gentle nudge and take a small step forward and accept the risk. But have compassion for where you are on your own journey. If you're not ready, that's okay. And as I mentioned earlier, we'll talk about the hero's journey in later videos. But for now, be gentle and have compassion for yourself. Accept that you have your own answers and that your heart is calling you forward. And begin to look at how you can connect with this energy. As I already mentioned, you can journal, you can connect with friends and see what they see within you, and you can get help from support groups and various forms of therapy. So start journaling, make time for silence in your life, and allow yourself to take outer life action. Don't be afraid to look a little silly, like wahoo! And seek outer life support with groups or therapy of some kind. So that's what week 22 represents of 2014. And know that 2014 is a 7 year, which represents inner peace, silence, reflection, and stillness. So, contrary to the card, you might feel pulled within to sit in silence and wait. But if an opportunity arises this week that seems rewarding and seems to be the answer to what your heart's been calling for, don't be afraid to take that risk. This is Rob Ragazine for Numbers by Rob.